Hi, I'm Jerry Ariola from Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English, third year section B, and I'm here to discuss with you all about learning disabilities. Have you ever met someone who's smart, creative, and full of potentials, but struggles in school? They might have a learning disability. And guess what? That is okay. A learning disability is a neurological condition that affects how a person processes information. It's not about intelligence or effort. In fact, many students with learning disability are just as smart as their peers, but their brain processes information differently. So, without further ado, let's take a look at some common types of learning disability. The first one is dyslexia. Dyslexia is a learning disability characterized by difficulties with accurate and fluent word recognition, poor spelling and decoding abilities, often stemming from deficit of phonological components of language. Dyslexia, this affects reading and the language-based processing. Students with dyslexia may have difficulty recognizing words, reading fluently, or understanding what they read. Okay, so now let's proceed with dysgraphia. Dysgraphia is a neurological disorder and learning disability that concerns impairment in written expression, which affects the ability to write, primarily handwriting, but also coherence. This affects writing skills. It can lead to messy handwriting, worse spelling, or and trouble putting thoughts into words on paper. So the third one is dyscalculia. Dyscalculia is a learning disability resulting in difficulty learning or comprehending arithmetic, such as difficulty in understanding numbers, numeracy, learning how to manipulate numbers, performing mathematical calculations, and learning fact and mathematics. This affects math abilities. Learners with dyscalculia may struggle with understanding numbers, math symbols, and problem solving. The next one is auditory processing disorder, or the APD, is a neurodevelopmental disorder affecting the way the brain processes sounds. Individuals with APD usually have normal structure and function of the ear, but cannot process the information they hear in the same way as the other do, which leads to difficulties in recognizing and interpreting sounds, especially the sounds composing speech. Auditory, with the word itself, it affects the hearing of the certain learners. This makes it difficult for them to understand the sound or spoken words even though their hearing is normal. Lastly, the visual processing disorder, or the VPD, is a neurological condition where the brain struggles to interpret and make sense of a visual information. Despite having a normal vision, it distinct from visual acuity problems like nearsightedness and is often mistaken for learning difficulties. Visual processing disorder, or the BPD, is this affect how the brain interprets visual information. A student may struggle with reading maps, copying from the board, or recognizing shapes and patterns. Lastly, the visual processing disorder, or the VPD, is a neurological condition where the brain struggles to interpret and make sense of a visual information. Despite having a normal vision, it distinct from visual acuity problems like nearsightedness and is often mistaken for learning difficulties. Visual processing disorder, or the BPD, is this affect how the brain interprets visual information. A student may struggle with reading maps, copying from the board, or recognizing shapes and patterns. So now, what do learners with learning disability need? Students with learning disability needs a supportive learning environment. So here are a few things that help. First one, individualized instructions. One size doesn't fit all, especially in learning. That's where individualized instructions comes in. It's all about adapting lessons to match how students learn best. Think visual learners using pictures, hands-on learners using objects, and some persons needing extra time or step-by-step process. It's not slowing down, it's leveling the playing field. Second, assertive technology. With assertive technology, students can overcome barriers. Audiobooks help the readers, and speech to text apps help them to write without the pressure of spelling. The calculators can give them confidence in math. It's not cheating, it's supporting their success. And lastly, encouragement and patience. Imagine how far a student can go when they hear you got this. Instead, why you can't do this. Kind words, second chances, and celebrating progress. Those words can build a confidence and keep them going even on tough days. So now, how can we support them as friends, teachers, or family? So you support starts with understanding. Don't label them as lazy or slow. Instead, you just need to listen, be patient, and offer help without judgment. Teachers can create inclusive classroom by using differentiated instructions and being flexible. And also as a classmate, you can help them by showing kindness and empathy. And together, we can make learning accessible for everyone. Learning disability do not define a person's potential. With the right support, every learner can thrive and achieve great things in life. So now, let's choose to be understanding, let's choose to be kind, let's choose inclusion. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, my name is Chandrik Ariola. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.